Does climate change the way we think and feel? Or when we move to another country, do we keep perceiving the seasons exactly the same way we did at home? I moved to the Netherlands 9 years ago from St. Petersburg, where winters are long, dark and snowy. The climate there is harsh, snow is deep, and the cold can reach -25. Now I live in Zutphen, a beautiful town in the eastern part of the country, of the Netherlands. When snow falls here, it looks like a real fairy tale. In the evenings, frozen branches of the trees create delicate patterns against the dark sky. Snowy plants glow under cozy lamps, and bikes covered in the snow. Look at them. They look like real paintings. But this fairy tale does not last long. The white snow quickly melts into a wet, slushy mess under your feet. And freshly built snowman loses its shape and becomes sad, soggy broccoli man. Foggy mornings are gray and quiet, and even the dogs seem sleepy, at least my dog. It's so difficult to get up in the morning. Life slows down, you also slow down, and there is more time you want to enjoy cozy evenings at home, reading a book, or simply spending time with your family.
Mokka, there is nothing to eat. No.
I noticed that I now feel differently during winters here. Before, I always felt very tensed during the winter. I always felt like I need to survive. There was not a moment when I could feel that I can slow down. No, on the contrary, I wanted to accumulate all my resources in order to survive this winter. Why is that? Environmental psychologist Robert Gifford argues that climate shapes how we think, feel, and behave. This aligns with neurobiological research on embodied experience and studies in linguistic relativity, which show that people develop specific vocabulary to describe their climate experience. The climate does not only affect the way we feel, our emotions, but also the way we think and even our language. We can have different words for the snow or for snow and wind in different languages. What we feel during a season is deeply tied to our early childhood sensory perception, says neurological research. What did I feel when I was a child in St. Petersburg? I felt joy skating on frozen rivers. Snow and cold were part of the rhythm of life. It was very dark, I was always very tired, but still, snow associates with happiness for me.
It's so good, believe me.
And this happiness comes from the childhood. Dutch children, they had a different sensory experience. They enjoy different moments and also different light. A Dutch poet once described the soft, low winter life in the Netherlands as a moment of calm and reflection. Children here enjoy sunny days, whereas in Russia they were very rare. But what surprised me a lot as, of course, first flowers in December. So Dutch children grow up associating winter with slowing down, family time, and cozy Christmas celebrations. These celebrations, they are uninterrupted across generations. Their parents, their grandparents, they all felt the same during Christmas. Riding a bike in January or taking a long walk in December is normal, regardless of snow. Germans, they associate winter period with more discipline. So they want to feel more in control of their time, of their life, and also schedule their celebrations with family and friends. In French, l'hiver is a time when the light turns gray, and that reflects your mood. So you feel more melancholic, more reflective. It's time to be within yourself. Think about your life, think about your friends. So when we feel a little frustrated that someone from another culture does not share our excitement for snow, for example, it's not a personal misunderstanding. Personal misunderstanding is something we bring into relationships on an intellectual level, our opinions, interpretations, reflections. But emotions related to climate are different. They are deeply, deeply rooted in our sensory childhood experience. They live in our body. Very often they work outside of our conscious awareness. And something interesting happened to me. After 9 years of living in the Netherlands, I started to understand these emotions. They did not disappear, they transformed. This is the new way I feel the winter. And that became part of my personal experience, my new identity. So does climate define the way we think and feel? Yes, but these feelings are not fixed forever. When we move to a different climate, our brain is capable of developing a new perception. Over time, we begin to differentiate. There is winter from our childhood and winter here. And both coexist at the same time in our self. So what do you think, guys? Have you ever experienced a similar misunderstanding, or maybe discovered that your feelings about a place changed over time? How did you experience different climate?